Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Sean Villa. Today we're covering Invincible Season 4, Episodes 1 through 3. I am joined by, man on the keys, Mikey Peniston.
Hello, hello. What's up? What's up?
Mikey, how'd you feel about this 3 episode opener? Well, obviously, we'll get into depth. We'll cover it kind of beat by beat, episode per episode, but overall thoughts?
I am very, very content with the start of this season. These first 3 episodes, I feel like coming off of the last season, I didn't personally really know where they were gonna go with it. I still have not gone into the source material. I have the books now. I just have not cracked open the pages for whatever reason. But I have them. I understand from what I've heard. There's like they're starting now, I think, to blend in maybe a little bit of their own storylines on top of
Yeah.
the story. I'm not fully sure about that. I don't know, but all I know is that as far as how we started this, I'm very content. I'm very happy. I feel like we're seeing Mark at a just like pure depression state, and with
Yeah,
that,
he's going through the torture nexus, much like Spider-Man does.
yes,
Just constantly getting beaten over the head, which I think
yes,
is really endearing. And I rewatched our coverage of season 3, or just a little bit of it,
okay,
towards the end to kind of see like where we all left off.
mm,
And I remember my major complaint with the end of season 3 was that I really hope that we don't kind of kill the momentum that like the end of season 3 was sort of propelling us into,
yeah,
where it's like boom Invincible War, boom Conquest, like these huge major events. And then I didn't want the way I described it as Mark fighting Toilet Man in the premiere,
yeah,
which
yeah,
luckily he doesn't. I actually think there's some really compelling stuff
one
going on
hundred
with
percent,
Mark here.
yeah,
I think the first episode is very strong. I want to bring up that season 3, I think maybe season 2, opens with Karma Police, and I was like, oh, dude, this is sick. Like we're bringing in great '90s like grunge song here. They're not
yeah,
going to top this opening for me.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then they open this season with Nothing But Thieves.
yeah,
Terrific song and like
insanely good,
great way to pull me into the this opening. I think like that great montage at the start like really sets the tone.
one
And
hundred
I think the
percent,
next couple episodes like really maintain a very serious tone, really good momentum. It feels like the plot is actually moving,
yeah.
whereas other seasons kind of had like a it's gonna be a weird analogy, but like a Harry Potter vibe to me, where it's like sometimes something really important's happening, and then it's like, oh, is Harry gonna get to class on time? Kind of like kills the momentum.
Yeah, yeah, one
This
hundred
season
percent,
feels very like we're moving.
one
Every scene
hundred percent.
matters. It's like important to the characters. There's some kind of like major plot revelation or a side character's getting some kind of new side explored. So I'm a big fan of these three. So what did you think about I guess let's start on episode 1.
Yeah, we can dive right into it. Just episode one, I think was again, I think it was the realest of the three. I loved the grittiness that we were kind of introduced into now, like this post conquest world, I guess you could
Mm-hmm.
say. Again, Mark is like truly traumatized by like everything now at this point that we've seen him go through. And the people are truly traumatized. You see that like he's still doing his invincible thing, and he's like not like like fully present. Like he's just kind of doing his job essentially. But even the people that he's interacting with are very like they don't even know how to act in a sense
Right.
because like they realize, oh, you are responsible for like half of the deaths we're
Yeah, and like a
seeing.
bunch of U's just killed like all of these
One
people.
hundred
Like
percent.
he's got the literal the face of a monster in the
Yes.
people's eyes. And I there's like one shot in there that really nails it for me where they're all kind of like glaring at him. It
Mhm.
might be in that opening montage, but I agree. I think that's like a really good precedent to set
Yeah.
of just like yeah, like we're not um forgetting things that happened in the show
One hundred
anymore. Like
percent.
all the things that happened are still going to be relevant and they're going to continue to come up until like they're addressed at some point. So I think that's really good. It makes the world building feel really consistent and
Yeah.
again like something's happening. Like we're constantly moving,
One hundred
which is a good
percent.
feeling to
One
have.
hundred percent. Yeah. And then it was cool, I think, to through that still establish just like the time arc of everything that's been kind of going on. So now to see Oliver finally out of that adolescent annoying ass state
Mhm.
and finally just kind of like quiet.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. But overall, I think it was just interesting to see again, just like this post world of it all and be introduced into it. You can very quickly see that Mark has this pent up emotion and he just really wants to hit something, foreshadowing towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But it's again, it's just really cool to be able to like take like a step back and just see how all of this that we've even seen as an audience has truly affected this character and
Right.
everyone around him, and even just like the team. I forget like what their name is, to be honest, but like as a
Oh, yeah, like the Justice Gang.
yeah.
What the? Oh, the Guardians.
The Guardians,
Guardians of the
yes,
Globe.
yes. Even how they're affected, because like clearly a lot of people are not like Retz is gone. It's a little bit different, and so it's really cool to just see the effect. But then we get like this toilet guy, like you were saying, and it's funny because they teased him at the end of season 3 a little bit. And
Who are you referring to?
are you not talking about the guy from the sewers, the mind control guy?
Oh, the mind control.
That's
guy
who I thought you were talking
Oh no,
about.
I was like inventing a fictional character named Toilet Man as just like kind of this point to make that okay, Mark's fighting Space Hitler and now he's fighting like some guy.
I see.
You know, but
I see.
but yes, I guess technically the squids. What do they call it? It's something like the word squid. It's like a syllable off. Like sequid.
It is sequid.
Okay,
That's
nice.
right. Yes.
Yeah, the sequids are kind of what I was worried about. So I agree. So it's like, okay, he's just fought Conquest. Now he's gonna fight these sequids again. Which is actually a really interesting point about these first like 2 episodes with Mark and people on Earth are that these are all repeat villains, except for one, that weird dinosaur guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a comic reader either, audience, so I heard through the grapevine that guy's really important. I have no context for that. So to me, it just seemed like another villain of the week.
Yeah.
But all these people coming back normally would bother me if it wasn't directly tied to what's happening with Mark. Because the sequids are relevant because Mark kills that guy. And not like I had to, like he murders this fucking guy, which is terrific for me.
Yeah.
Because that's great follow up on the season 3 promise of like, yep, Mark's gonna start killing people. He said it. He looked into the lens. He said, I'm gonna start killing people next season, and we're actually doing it. So that's great follow through. That makes me super excited. We bring back the big dragon guy. I think Liu. I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Who again? I think that's the weakest episode of season 3.
I agree.
It really just like didn't do anything for me. And when he came back, I was like, oh great, the terrific fucking dragon guy is back. But I think it's really good. Not only do I think that marginally the animation has kind of improved. I might be insane, but I think it's looks a lot better. It feels like there's some more like motion and action in it.
It definitely is, yeah.
But I think that that ending scene with Mark almost killing Titan is like great too, of like, yeah, he's kind of unhinged, and it's a very similar thing with the green guys, the aliens that come through the portal.
Yeah, I don't
There's
know
so many
name
weird
either.
names you have to learn.
Yeah,
But the green aliens that come through the portal, it's another thing we've seen already. Okay, great, you know, the aliens are back, but then Robot and Monster Girl vanish. That's it. Like they're seemingly stuck in another dimension.
Yes.
So everything that's happening, I feel like we're in season 3. It would just be that. Like, yep, they're gonna fight the Flaxons. Got it.
Good thinking. I would not have remembered that for the life of me.
I think it like came back to me in a line. Like I heard somebody saying it in the show. But yeah, it would just be like, okay, we're gonna fight the Flaxons this episode. What a wacky adventure! Nobody dies, and then we just kind of move on.
Yeah.
This is doing something different because it's establishing wider stakes. Everything's having a consequence, or at least some kind of influence on the characters, which is a great sign. It kind of means to me that like maybe we're actually over the filler, right? We're finding a way to integrate these side plots in a way that feels cohesive with the driving plot.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like with that, I wonder how much source material there even is left too. Like if like they're reaching a point where they're like, we have to end the show soon, so now we need to stop, you know, like just messing around. Yeah. But with that statement, I 100% agree. Just because the B plot with Alan and I always say is it Nolan or Norman? Nolan. I don't know why I call him Norman. But, what's it called? The side plot, even with that, is like in the past. I feel like it's always just kind of been like seeing these two interact, but like, oh, they're just like in space. Like even that episode established like, no, like they're moving now and they're trying to establish something which we have not seen before, which was this basically this reliance of people, I guess you could say, team.
Yeah.
And so you're right. Like for the first time, I do feel like it is like we're not just seeing just like pointlessness. Everything makes sense. Everything is like
right?
You're right. There's a lot of stakes already.
And you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that something like that's probably going to happen this season. There's a good chance that somebody comes in here like a Powerplex, right?
Mhm.
Who like I enjoyed that episode of last season where Aaron Paul's Powerplex is introduced and it's just kind of like a villain of the week. I think it's compelling,
Yeah.
but again, it kind of slows the pacing of the overarching narrative, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
we establish this guy, Mark has to fight him. It like means something for him a little bit, but like ultimately, if you cut that episode, I don't think it really changes the show all that much. I'm sure
100%.
something like that is probably coming this season, but I think that we're on a good track record so far, and I hope that we kind of continue down that path. As for Omni-Man and Alan, that was a great episode.
100%.
I think I've kind of been like relying a little too hard on Omni-Man in season 2 and 3
Mm.
because I feel like where Mark has been sporadically interesting for me, Omni-Man's almost always interesting to me. And I like that he gets like a full episode and he's got again like his own kind of team and his own plot like really starting to form.
Yeah.
And I like that there's the promise at the end of the episode that like he's finally going to try and come back to Earth. Right?
Yeah.
He says I'm going to go get my sons. Now, is that the end of the season? Maybe. You know, like I don't know how long that's going to take,
Yeah.
but I do like that I can see a clear direction. And I
Mhm.
think that season 2 and 3 to a lesser extent, I think didn't have as clear of a direction. Like I
Yeah.
can kind of see where the show's going now and it's exciting, whereas season 2 is like okay, like at some point Mark's gonna fight the Viltrumites.
Yeah.
Now I feel like there's a lot of chess pieces that are set up. Specifically, I kind of want to break into a discussion about this new guy, Thrag, the Grand Regent Thrag. So, what I've heard talk of this guy.
Yeah.
I got a lot of comic reader friends, and the internet's been talking about this guy with the Freddie Mercury cut, and he's finally arrived. And Mikey, what do you think about this guy? First impressions, because
man.
I'm a little I don't know.
So I've heard a lot about Thrag. I have heard that he is just next level as far as like these contenders, as far as the Viltrumites just keep one upping, and
This
he's
is the big bad.
the big bad, yes. And so clearly, it's that big bad is a name, I guess, or it's something that's already established in the Viltrumite world as these people. Conquest is himself is like kill me. I fucked
Right.
up. I didn't do the
Mhm.
job right. Kill me. So like clearly like there is some intimidation and fear level that's coming out of his character. I know for me, it's way too early. I think to fully have an assumption or make an opinion on this character, just because right now he's just kind of in king mode. Like he has
Right.
his red little throne. I don't even want to call it, but
His
like,
gown.
his gown, yeah,
Yeah.
right. But like, it's like until I see him like come down and beat the living like pulp out of Mark or somebody or
Mhm.
Omni-Man, or then I'll probably start to fully have a
Yeah.
better opinion. But I can tell that he's no joke just with how everyone else is treating him.
Mhm.
So I'm very interested. I'm interested to see what it takes to have to get him off the throne and to come down. Maybe like all the Viltrumites just keep like none of them can do it, and he's like put people as a Thanos, like fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, so we'll see. I don't know, but as of right now, it's too early to have an opinion for me.
Yeah, I feel pretty similar. I do like the general like kind of beats of how they're setting him up.
Mhm.
Where there was this great like I think it was a video essay or something that I watched about John Wick, where they talk about like when you're introducing an intimidating character, that really what you want to do is just like have him be in a position or her where they're just not like actually doing anything. They're just
Yeah.
sort of like in their comfort zone.
Mhm.
But everyone around them is talking about how bad they are, and it makes for a great reveal when they actually like do something because it's been hyped up to this point. Like, oh shit, I need to be scared of this person. Which does put a lot of emphasis on the actual execution of that thing. Like, obviously, John Wick proceeds to kill like 9 people after that, so it works.
Yeah.
I hope that Thrag gets something similar to do, and he's not just like this headpiece for the Viltrumites. Like, ideally, he shows up and just like destroys like an important character. It would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard a lot of chatter about this guy. I think Lee Pace joining the voice cast is great. I think
Mhm.
he's a really like kind of underrated actor. He hasn't been in too much that I'm aware of recently.
Yeah.
But I think his voice kind of fits the part.
Mhm.
I also want to talk about Jonathan Banks has joined the voice cast, who's Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
He is Brit who is another great like follow up from season 3 of like we're gonna introduce all these new people for the Invincible War. I
Mhm.
was like they're all gonna disappear, and no, he's actually like part of the cast. So I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. Expansive voice cast. Who are they gonna get next?
Oh man.
Trump? The Great Conquest. You know, who are they gonna get next? They can get everybody. There's a lot of A-listers on this show,
Yes.
so
No.
it's very cool to kind of see like this amazing voice cast coming together, where it's like Seth Rogen and J.K. Simmons are on like a buddy adventure in space. Like
Yeah.
the fact that we've kind of pulled that out of like an already great show is very, very cool. So I like that the cast is
100%.
how expansive it is.
100%. I agree with that. I feel like, like we already had from the beginning a star-studded cast, but they just keep adding to it. And so I'm excited to see what else they do with it. There is a storyline, though, that I want to bring up that I feel like is really important as well. Just kind of going off of the Omni-Man and Viltrumite conversation. I feel like this is the first time we've actually truly got a bit of background on the Viltrumites. I
Yeah.
feel like in the past, they've always like talked about like, this is the way of a Viltrumite, or like our place fell to the ground, but this is the first time we truly have to see it, and to be able to see it in a young Nolan's eyes too, I feel like it really kind of also set up like a sort of picture as far as this character and his arc, because I feel like even in that episode alone, you saw a lot of just that arc. I remember when he was like already like just like playing out crazy, and like now you still see a little bit of it, but like I feel like now you are starting to see like the good in him start to really come out a lot more. But to like cut back to the beginning where you see like them beat the shit out of him and like basically go through an invincible thing of himself, and him look out for the kids, and then like the virus play out on his like,
Right.
those are things that I feel like, oh, we haven't gotten this before, but it's so crucial, and it's weird that they're just now throwing this in. I mean, it made sense, I guess, with the story.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it might kind of be like a consequence of just comic writing, where I think like sometimes when you start out on a comic, like you kind of find your way into the plot like as you go. So maybe this idea of like the scourge virus. I mean, there's almost a 1,000% chance that something is going to happen with that virus in the next season or two.
Yeah.
Just because why introduce it in the first place or reintroduce that this guy has it.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think like the Viltrum history is very enticing, and it does what a great flashback is supposed to do, which is that it actually enhances the stuff that comes before it. Because I think they're building a really relevant and important case about indoctrination for Nolan's character, of just like how hard it is to escape like an upbringing in a certain culture, right?
Yeah.
And like especially like in an abusive one like that. So I really like the way that it's kind of constructed as like, yeah, like this guy, even though he's essentially arming the resistance, he still can't like admit that that's what he's doing because of the hardship that he went through and like how indoctrinated he was. I think that's great. I think that does a number for his character, who's already the most interesting part of the show for me.
100%.
And I also think it enhances the season 1 finale where he beats the shit out of Mark, because it's just like, yeah, he went through that too. Like that's what he thinks is what you're supposed to do. And that's really great. It's just like it's enhancing itself. It's a show that's making its prior episodes better through what it's doing in these new arcs, and I think that's super exciting.
100%. Yeah, I feel like we're getting into just like I don't know, like it's coming off of this arc, but I feel like we're coming into a territory of just this character, and I'm really interested to see. I'm happy you brought up the fact that we're getting like this buddy cop sort of like tag along between J.K. Simmons and Seth Rogen, but I truly am happy to see like them building this team, because that's one thing that I have heard about from the comics, as far as they do build essentially like this team, and eventually Invincible joins them, and a lot of the names they threw out in that second episode are people I know that are on that team, and so it is really cool. I'm interested to just see the arc grow this season.
Yeah, we did have the I think it's the trailer shot of like Mark, Nolan, Alan, Oliver, Battle Beast, and that like Iron Man guy from season 3. I don't remember what his name is.
Oh, man.
We haven't really like gotten an introduction to them yet.
Yeah.
But I think they're essentially establishing the dream team.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like some focus for the show is really what I wanted coming out of season 3. Where it's like, yes, everything happening with Mark is great. I think like this Invincible War and Conquest is all awesome. What wasn't awesome about it was going from that to like robot building Monster Girl a belt. I just didn't really I wasn't hooked by it. Or
Yeah.
a more mid-mortal
Yeah.
going with Kate, right? Like all these kind of like subplots that I just like didn't really give a shit about. It felt very small scale and removed from everything else.
Mm,
Where now I feel like everything kind of feels connected. At least so far. I think everything feels cohesive is the word I'm looking for, right? Like
100%.
we're moving in a very clear direction. So it's very cool. And I'm excited to see like how much Omni-Man and Alan we're getting this season. Like I know last season and even the season prior, they really only had like one episode.
Mm.
I think season 2 had like the Alan episode specifically. I hope that we're kind of like past that, and maybe we could actually bring these characters into like more recurring roles throughout the show
I
and the
agree.
season.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's going that way. But what do you think?
I agree. I feel like it is going that way. I feel like again they have to kind of go that way. I feel like you can't just keep doing what they've been
Right.
doing.
Mhm.
And so I hope that they get more recurring. I honestly I hope that it doesn't even take them too long into this season for them to truly come back and kind of join like the midst of just even just society. Like they've been on their own for so long now
Right.
that it's I mean, it's been good for their arc together of like building that friendship and that bond, and so I'm grateful that they did that, but like they really got to bring him back in
Yeah,
now.
right.
It's like how long are we gonna do this?
Season 1 is so great because of the dynamic that Omni-Man presents in the story. And
Yeah.
I think getting to see like the wounds heal has
Mhm.
kind of been something that everyone's looking for the past 3 seasons of the show. Like we want that reunion. Like I want to see Nolan with Debbie. Like
Yeah.
how's that scene going to play out? It's going to be so great. Him and Oliver, like that relationship, Mark and Nolan, like that relationship, all Cecil and everything with Omni-Man. Like
Yeah.
once you reintroduce this character, there are so many great plots that will come out of it because the situation has just kind of been left to sit, and all these characters have spent so long ruminating on it, including him.
Mhm.
And I just like I'm dying to see it all like kind of come to a head, especially when it's under the threat of like another, enemy, right?
Yeah.
Because he's basically pulling up, and then he's gonna be like, "All right, like, hey everybody, like, I'm gonna give my son a noogie, and we're gonna go like fight evil." When he's like, "Dude, like I'm not over what happened. Like
Yeah.
you fucked things up. Like the
Yeah.
Earth hates you.
Yeah.
So like that's great. Like I can't wait to see that. So I think a lot of good promises in these
Yeah.
first 3 episodes of just
Yeah.
like shit's gonna get real. There's a lot of exciting stuff to come, and I think it just is sort of reliant on these next couple episodes to follow through.
Yeah.
But I haven't been given any reason to see that they won't so far. So
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree, and I feel like again with the timing of it all, it helps with where the story's at, even with little things like Debbie's storyline. Like, it kind of seems like for the first time she's a little bit happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Right.
And so like they're talking about like moving and all this stuff, and like she's going through her own like she always is at some existential crisis. She's been through a lot, but like for her to be somewhat happy and then to have Omni-Man come back and even that like play out like you said, like it's really interesting. But I am very interested to see how like the next episodes play out. There's one last thing I know I want to bring up. I don't know if you have
I've got
anything
one
else.
as well. I don't know if it's the same thing.
It's definitely the same thing, so I'm gonna let you go right into
All right.
it.
Is it the ending tag?
Yeah.
All right. Mark's a father. All that protecting the world, he couldn't protect himself. Come on, Mark. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this twist, this entering the universe. I don't know where this goes.
Yeah.
Mark and Eve having a little baby. I don't know, dude. I don't know how that's gonna go.
I don't know.
I think that could impact Mark's arc. And my worry is that narratively, I find what's happening with Mark right now the most interesting that he's ever been.
Yeah.
He's the most conflicted. He's the most down on his luck. He's violent. He's kind of like tired and frustrated. He doesn't have like an outlet of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, a baby, a family, seems like an excuse for him to like, get back on the good side of like, all right, I got to lock in. I have a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is sort of a promise that I don't like of like, oh no, like Mark's suffering is going to end, which I know is like, a little sadistic of me, but it's compelling what's happening with him right now. This is season 3 and 4 are the most interesting that Mark has ever been for me as compared to the last 2 seasons. And I think that him going down this like damaged kind of like crazy route that he's on right now, where he's just trying to keep it all together, but is having these outbursts where like in every fight he gets in these first three episodes, he almost kills somebody or does.
Yeah.
Like that's really compelling because that's so different from
Yeah.
who he was. And yeah, I don't know how this is gonna like shake up that dynamic. And I think honestly, like for the first time in the show, I'm a little hesitant to like change. I like where we are right now. So I don't know. What do you think?
I definitely agree with everything you just said. I feel like it's a little just too soon, to be honest, for
Yeah.
this to be happening. I feel like I also love where we're at with Mark's character, the arc, and just like the story. I feel like why ruin it when we just got really into this, just the start of it too. um I feel like it is 100% going to change the dynamic of things, even if it doesn't necessarily make him like have to lock in. I think that to see where he's at right now and then to bring in a baby, it could just very well be like replicating the Nolan and him situation, where like he's just like very angry all the time and now he's raising a kid. You know what I'm saying? So it could just be like the whole thing, and like not that that's bad. It could be really cool like writing, but at the same time, it's way too soon.
Yeah.
Like we haven't even gotten their resolution yet, so it's like I I don't like that. I I don't know if I'm a fan of how it's affecting Eve. I mean, I don't know if that's my judgment to say.
No, I mean, I
Right?
get what you mean. I get what you mean
Right?
because Eve is another character who's been very compelling recently.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of serves as like an excuse to kick her out of the plot.
Yes.
Like of oh, she's out of commission, she can't help you, which again, I get kind of like elevates the stakes for Mark,
Yeah.
but like they're kind of high enough.
Yes.
Like, do we need this? And now we're gonna kind of like kick Eve out of the show for a little while so she could be on like maternity leave.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I like it, but I guess we got to kind of see how it goes. I mean, this show gets really out there and dark, so like who knows if this is even gonna like go well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have no idea. I don't have context, which I think I'm gonna keep it this way. By the way, viewers and Mikey, I don't think I'm gonna read ahead. I kind of like going into this blind.
Yeah.
But let us know your thoughts if you want someone to kind of get like the spoiler review and come on and talk that side. But I like going in blind.
I like going in blind too, but I do have the content now, so if I have to spoil it,
Yeah, you can give it a read.
Yeah,
Give it a little skim.
yeah, it's I don't know, but yeah. Other than that, I feel like it's just weird timing with it. I hope it doesn't truly affect the story, and I would love to see Mark kill a few more people, and so I hope a baby's not the person that he's killed.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, let's hope so. Yeah, he's in a really great spot, and I just don't want to see him kicked out. But I guess we'll have to just kind of wait and see. Overall, I feel super positive about this season. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I guess we should talk about the ticking bomb that is probably Cecil is going to die. Because what is he doing, dude? Like he's just consistently lying. And Mark, again, this is why that like unstable mode that he's in is so great, is because Cecil is trying to like basically cushion the fall that Conquest is alive and escaped, and he just fumbled so hard. And then B, he's making robot soldiers out of his corpses, like out of Mark's other like interdimensional bodies.
Yeah.
So like both of those things, he's gonna flip out and kill you. Like how are you going to escape this situation? So it's only a matter of time that this Conquest reveal like comes up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, presumably, like they're going, like they're gonna, that screenshot that we got is they're in space. The whole team's assembled, so that could be the last shot of the season, and we have to wait. But I'd like to think that that's not what it is, and that we're gonna get some like, all right, we're going after the Viltrumites. Like, Conquest is probably gonna be the first fucking guy that they encounter, and Mark's gonna be like, he's gonna be shocked, and then when he gets back to Earth, Cecil's like cooked. I don't see how this like ends well for him. I kind of think like it's over, so that's my screwball theory I'm gonna throw out. But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about Cecil this season? And I guess coming off of where they were in season 3.
I like never really liked Cecil. I feel I like really don't like him this season. I feel like he's already making mistakes, but he's also kind of just standing there in the background like this the whole time with his arms crossed, like and so like I don't know, I kind of like every so often he'll throw a line in there like he was like, Mark, like I'm not as old as I may seem. Like I've seen a lot. And I'm like, all right, then like stop doing the shit you're doing. But, like,
You're not as wise as you think.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm not a fan. I 100% back you up in the fact that I do think he is gonna die this season, even if it's at the end. I think that if Omni-Man and Alan are making their way back to Earth, there's a very good chance that now the Viltrumites, knowing that Mark just defeated Conquest, could also be trying to make their way back. And if that's the case, I think that Conquest himself would probably just kill Cecil in a second. Or
True.
it could be like a very like thing where if he keeps it such a secret for so long, it could just bite him in the ass like that. That could be bad writing. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things where they set the stage really good, so we really do just have to kind of just see. But Cecil again is just annoying as ever.
Yeah, he really does come in there with a lot of fumbles recently.
Yeah.
He just walks in and it's just like, oh yeah, we made the worst fucking decision ever.
Right.
Yeah, he's not really killing it recently, but I do think he's a compelling character.
100%. Yeah.
He's just kind of like, interestingly, I kind of feel like he's going off the deep end in the same way that Mark is.
Yeah.
Where Mark is getting a lot more like outwardly violent and like what's the word? Not where you're like not planning.
Oh, impulsive.
There you go.
Yeah,
Impulsive.
yeah.
I had a brain fart. Yeah, he's getting a lot more impulsive, where Cecil is getting a lot more like calculatingly cruel.
Yeah.
Of just like, I'm gonna start like raising the bar on like what's okay to protect everybody. But he's doing it in a much more, sophisticated method. So I do like that parallel arc, and then I've always loved the arcs that Mark and Nolan are going through respectively, where they're kind of ending in opposite places. And I would love to see, again, how they interact now that they're both in such different spots. Like maybe Mark's going to pull up to Nolan and be like, actually, dude, you were right. And then Nolan will be like, no, you were right. And then they've like completely flipped. That would be great.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I think we just kind of keep circling back to the same point that there's a lot of really interesting setup here. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I believe you are as well.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah. So that's about it.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
No. I think that's about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you enjoyed us discussing the first 3 episodes of Invincible season 4, we're going to be covering the rest of them. I think there's 8.
I have no idea.
Mikey doesn't know,
Yeah.
but I think there's 8 because there's been 8 in the previous season. So you've got 5 more incredible episodes. No, that's such bad math. Is that? No, it is 5.
Right. That is right. Yeah,
dude, it's late. I'm sorry, audience. Yeah. Come back next week and you'll hear all about episode 4. And then after that, episode 5. We're going to be covering it together. Me, Mikey. We're also going to have Vinny and Mark on to go through this whole season. I'm very excited. And with that, I've been Sean Villa.
I'm Mikey Peniston.
And we'll see you next time.
This is The Culture.